All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for it. RWBY Volume 5,
Chapter 6.
Okay.
It's
so
here.
we are going to get, finally, the Raven talk with Weiss and Yang.
But it'll probably be interrupted.
I think it will be not necessarily interrupted, but I think it's going to be smaller than we think it's going to be. The idea that a lot of people, including myself, would like a Team Stark flashback. I don't think it makes sense to do that yet.
Right, but this could be where they first bring up the idea of Team Stark and mention it and start talking about it. That way we're ready.
We can get some mentions of maybe some things like a little bit of what happened to Summer. But I think it's going to be more directed towards Ozpin and not necessarily about Team Stark. It's going to be from the mouth of someone who is kind of the problem child of Team Stark.
Yes.
But
it's important to remember that she left before Summer died.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So with that, the only other thing I think that is kind of an open plot point is we need to get a little bit into the villains and their movements so that we can figure out.
Probably headed here.
Yeah, that would be a good point. I don't think they'll necessarily arrive there though.
Right, maybe at the end of this episode.
Right, I think they need to bring up Crow and his doings with finding more huntsmen. But other than that, I can't think of anything else that
me neither
is really big to happen in this episode.
Unless they want to have Jean find his aura.
No, that doesn't make sense. I feel like we did a little bit enough of Ranger for now.
Yeah.
And now we just need to cycle back to the tribe and then to the villains, and then choose maybe to figure out how they're going to converge. Because once they've had this conversation with Raven, I think they'll be sent in a portal basically straight back to Crow.
Sure. The other thing though is. Do you think Blake's family will get attacked this episode or
no?
Next
not
episode?
This episode. Not this episode. I feel like that's a very much
mid-season finale.
Yeah, bigger thing. So without further ado, let's get into this episode and see what happens. Oh, it's Crow. Okay.
Yeah.
Of course.
Regular or the special?
I'm actually looking for someone. Goes by the name Shiro Wan. Ever heard of him? I heard he's a regular around here.
Who's asking?
He is our one and only hero, Shiro.
Hey, I'm not some cop, if that's what you mean. I need Shiro for a gig. We go way back.
Way back, huh? So, he's a friend of yours.
Yeah, I'd say so. He's a pretty alright guy.
Well, in that case, you tell that jerk that he better not show his ugly face in here until he pays me the lien he owes me.
Wow.
Did I say friend? I meant acquaintance. Really, we're just colleagues. Anyways, thanks for your time, buddy. I'll just be taking off now.
Bum.
Well, that didn't go well. Yep.
Okay.
Some cool names there.
Great start.
Yep, saw that coming.
Yeah. Just his luck.
Right? Yep. Jeez, those guys are... They got a leaderboard and everything. Fight Club. First success, probably, here.
Yeah, this seems promising.
Heather Shields.
I wonder what weapons she uses.
I think it's something made of heather.
Yeah.
Yeah. What if it's a shield?
No, I think it's more like
made of heather.
A shield gun.
No, hey there. I'm looking for Heather. Look, pal. I've had a rough day. Do you know where she is or not?
Daddy?
Oh.
Does he know where Mommy is?
Oh.
I'm sorry to bother you.
Too real, man. Too real. Jeez. They don't seem to be doing well with things at home. Or is that just grim protection?
Or thieves.
Or thieves, yeah. There's got to be some kind of Easter egg in those names.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
A lot of these people that he's looking at on bounties for most wanted, basically. Back.
You got a lot of nerve showing up back here. Unless you brought that idiot with you.
How much did Shiro owe you?
Yeah.
Well, I'd say about 16,000 lien. Wait, what? Man, you must be in some serious trouble with him if you're paying me off.
His name is clear.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why does he look sad, though?
That idiot.
No funness. I didn't notice that before. Oh,
Here we go.
here we go.
You can wait outside. Thank you.
Vernal is her maid.
Ha, 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 ha.
So,
Wow.
what's the truth? It's better when it's hot.
You're really obnoxious.
The truth is that truth is hard to come by. A story of victory for one person is a story of defeat for someone else. By now, your uncle has surely told Ruby and her friends plenty of stories.
Well, he's never given me a reason to doubt him before.
That doesn't mean those reasons don't exist.
Mm-hmm.
You and your teammates might as well be the poster children for the Huntsman Academies. Your motives vary, but you all enrolled to try and make the world a better place. It's adorable.
It's what huntsmen and huntresses do.
Not
It's what they're
all of them.
supposed to do.
Some people are just in it for the money and the fame, but there's even more that are just looking to grow stronger. Your Uncle Crow and I didn't attend Beacon to become huntsmen. We did it to learn how to kill huntsmen. Daddy and Uncle left that part out, Aside from the Grim, huntsmen were the only ones capable of ruining our raids and hunting us down.
Oh.
Our tribe needed a counterforce. And Crow and I were the perfect age. The entrance exams were child's play compared to what we'd already been through.
Wow.
We were good. So good that we caught the attention of Beacon's very own headmaster,
Okay.
Professor Ozpin. Even after we were put on a team, I could tell he was keeping his eye on us. Back then, I thought it was because he knew. But it was Team Stark he was interested in.
Yep.
What do you mean by that?
Constant attention, extra training missions, turning a blind eye whenever we happened to break the rules and get into more trouble than we
Right.
should have.
Rinse and
Seems
repeat.
familiar.
Sound
Yep.
familiar?
Yep.
What's your point?
How much do you know about Professor Ozpin? About his past?
He was a prodigy. One of the youngest headmasters to be appointed to a school.
Because that's how he planned it. Because the man you know as Ozpin designed those schools and has followers inside every academy on Remnant that are loyal to him and no one else.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. How could he have... No, Why would someone even do that?
Because Old Man Oz has a great and terrible secret. One that could spread fear across the world. One that he eventually entrusted to our team. And once I knew, there was no going back. I needed
Panning
to know
over to
more.
the dragon.
Uh-huh.
With every new discovery I made, the more horrifying the world became.
Okay, then tell us.
Yeah.
What's the big secret? What's so crazy that the rest of us don't know?
The creatures of Grimm have a master named Salem.
Right.
She can't be stopped, she can't be reasoned with, and she will not rest until humanity crumbles at her feet.
What?
Oh.
You know you two haven't even touched your tea.
Why should we believe any of this?
Now you're catching on. So far you've done nothing but accept what others tell you. But you need to question everything.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's relatively good advice.
You need to have some kind of foundation now.
Otherwise you'll end up just as blind as Crow. And you're fool of a father.
Yep.
Saw that coming.
Yep.
Don't you dare talk about my family like that! You need to calm down.
Oh, that's a cool weapon.
That
Please.
looks a lot like
Listen to your friend.
Tyrion's.
Your teammates never let you down before.
You don't know the first thing about my teammates. About me. You were never there. You left us. Why?
I know more than
Wow.
you realize. Not just about you, and not just what I've been told, but things I've seen with my own eyes. I know the Grimm have a leader. I know people who can come back from the dead. I know that magic is real. And I can prove it. You said Ty told you all about my semblance. Well, I doubt he ever told you what Oz did to my brother and me.
What? did he do?
Okay.
Go see for yourself.
Oh, shoot. She's gone because she's a bird now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Osmond did that?
Are you okay?
Wow.
I'll be fine once we could get her to take us to Ruby.
It's okay if you're not okay.
You didn't believe what she said, right?
Of course not. Well, not all of it. It was crazy. We have dust, semblances, but I mean, there's no such thing as magic.
Yeah, here we go.
Are they gonna actually show like the transformation?
I've seen that bird before.
Yeah.
Maybe it belongs to your mom?
Not exactly.
Yeah.
Are they going to actually?
Are they going to show
Okay.
it?
No.
Oh.
How did you do that?
Well, I could explain it to you. Or you could ask your uncle.
You're letting us go?
I'm giving you a choice.
Oh, yeah, good.
Stay here with me, and I'll answer all of your questions and more. We can have a fresh start. Or you can go back to Crow and join Ozpin's impossible war against Salem. And meet the same fate as so many others.
Ooh.
But can you really go back to
As
trusting
so many
someone
others.
that's kept so much from you?
All I care about is making sure my sister is safe.
She's gonna drive it through the portal.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yang. If you side with your uncle, I may not be as kind the next time we meet.
You weren't kind this time either.
Oh!
That was so
Yeah.
good.
I know.
Yeah.
This isn't right.
Zonk.
Get one or two of them.
Right.
All of them?
2 huntsmen. Here you go. Huntresses. Yep.
Raven? Oh.
Oh. Just the
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, they're gonna reunite with Ranger! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Yes!
Just about done.
Awesome! Now we just need Crow and we'll be all set.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
I really think he's going to bring that many people. This is a lot of food.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know, but it sounds like we can use all the help we can get.
Oh.
Be right there!
You're going to overcook that.
No, I'm not. Shut up!
Hey, Ruby.
I'm coming!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine, you take over.
Multitasker Red. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my
We didn't know how
gosh.
many people were coming, so we just cooked all of it.
And
Oh yes! Yes! Oh.
that little step.
Yang, I'm so sorry. I should have stayed. I should have talked to you more.
Oh.
I wasn't sure if you wanted me around.
Oh.
I love you.
Oh.
I love you too.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Weiss.
Come on. Get in here. Oh. Oh. Team RWBY is back together. Or Rai. Oh. Oh. Oh, that was such
That
a
episode was
sweet
really
ending.
sweet.
They're not
Like,
they're not wasting time. They're actually like bringing everyone, at least
Right.
like everyone that makes sense to, back together as quick as
Yep.
possible.
Yep.
And I'm kind of glad we didn't go too deep into the Team Stark stuff, because
Me too.
Raven is trying to manipulate it a little bit so that she can give a steady trickle for Yang to
Exactly.
stay.
Yep.
So it doesn't make sense that she would just be like, sure, I'll absolutely give you all the
Right.
information you want right now.
And thankfully, there was a little bit of like recap exposition, but there was also new stuff. The fact that Ozpin apparently did that to them, made them be able to turn into birdies.
I'm almost 100% sure that's what they're referring to. The idea that we've always wondered why Raven and Crow have the ability to turn into their respective birds of their of their namesake. But the idea is that they got their name because of the ability. The ability.
Possibly.
No. That's what Crow said. That's what Crow said. He's like, Crows. That's how he got his name. Crows are a symbol of bad luck. It's how he got his name.
Oh.
Now, it's kind of a thing of saying, well, bad luck was always a thing, but there are other symbols of bad luck besides Crow.
Yeah.
But the reason why he gets attributed with Crow in particular is because he can turn into a crow. And if he was made to be basically his like spies or his scouts, or Ozpin's eyes, remember when Salem said that the last eye is blinded? It's the idea that Ozpin's using them in the same way. They're like kind of the Odin's birds, Odin's ravens, for the purpose of spying on Salem or what have you.
I'm really surprised we didn't get anything from the villains this episode.
They really focused on that Crow bit of him really doing what he can to help people, and particularly to find huntsmen and huntresses. And,
Right.
And he was very unsuccessful.
Yep.
But I love that they were kind of prepping for kind of a team meeting of huntsmen and huntresses, and lo and behold, coming through the portal on Bumblebee is Weiss and Yang, and oh my gosh.
You know,
it's
in a way,
so perfect.
In a way, because Bumblebee came through the portal, Team RWBY is kind of back together.
Oh my gosh, no, not really. Come on. Once things go completely wrong in Menagerie, then Blake will come over to Haven, I'm sure.
Right.
But it's the idea that they're bringing everyone here because things are not going to go well, at least until everyone's back together at Haven.
Right.
So, oh man, a reunion like this is going to be so great, because I think back to the times when like Weiss, Blake, and Yang were all at the campfire in season 2, volume 2, and we're chatting around together and having a good time and stuff. And I really want that feeling of everyone being together and talking and having a good time being here. And now it actually can happen. So
right. And these are the kinds of episodes where it's like, okay, they could have squeezed this down smaller,
right,
and basically gotten more to like the plot stuff.
Right.
But I'm really glad they didn't, because these bits make you like,
there's subtlety in them. It's the idea that RWBY as a show in volume 1 was extremely efficient in that they had a clip pace that they needed to move through for specific things, and they did have some plot arcs where they were kind of having a little bit of time added in there, but this had pauses. It has those moments,
the lingering moments, and the
lingering moments, allowing the emotion to set in, and not having these fast transitions to where we're not ready for it thematically to be there.
They didn't just have Crow not be able to find people. They had him find the broken down house, and then it's does he know where mommy is? And it's like things like that just
this is the freedom that they have now that they have a 14 episode show.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's kind of awesome to think about.
Oh yeah.
It's the idea that RWBY as a show can have artistic moments and poetic moments because they had all this extra screen time. And as they get better at doing things, the plot stuff will have moments where they'll, tightly and efficiently fit in things into episodes. You're like, whoa, so much happened. But then they'll have episodes like this where they'll just slowly build up to a satisfying emotional conclusion. And that's just great. Great. I mean, I love the kind of the slice of life element of the fact that they're all doing team stuff together. And Team Ranger is there with Oscar.
They're cooking up food for all the huntsmen and huntresses that they're sure Crow is going to bring. And
and then it's just basically their family coming back. It's just it's so good. Yes. It almost seems like this was like aptly timed. I know everyone celebrates Thanksgiving around the world. It's more of an American thing, but it feels like we're gonna have that kind of a Thanksgiving thing coming up soon. It's just gonna feel very
point.
Good. So it's aptly timed in that regard.
But that means that next week's episode, which will be right after Thanksgiving, will probably be the one where everything goes wrong.
Yeah, I think the reason why they also, if you think about it story-wise, the fact that we haven't had the villains means that the villains are coming in the next episode
in force
because Raven's tribe just had those main characters leave.
Exactly.
Now anything can happen to Raven's tribe.
Right. And I get the feeling Raven's tribe will probably move at this point because
they don't need to be there any longer.
They don't need to be there any longer, and they don't want anyone to know where they are. So
yeah. Do you think that now that they brought them back, they'll do a thing where it's like, all right, Lionheart, we have enough huntsmen. Let's go straight to Raven's camp. And Yang's like, I just came from there.
Right.
I don't think they necessarily will, but if they don't, then the villains definitely are.
That's true. But yeah.
Or will the next episode be more about Menagerie?
Sure. I could definitely see it being more about Menagerie. One of the things that they need to sort of like figure out how they're going to handle it is with Raven's tribe, since she has insane mobility, as long as she can have the people with the bonds. How many people with bonds does she have? And does she have someone right now, other than Crow and Tai Yang, that she could just teleport them all to?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a very good question.
Because I think if she did, then there would be very little reason for her to not be doing that as soon as Yang and Weiss leave.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it might take a little while, and then the villains are able to attack while they're getting ready to leave, because they still do have a camp to take down. But if they don't do that, then... Okay,
What's that?
Alright, what if they attack Raven's tribe?
Yeah.
Raven has to run, but she doesn't have... Like, let's say normally she would send Vernal off to, like, be the second bond.
Right.
Right? And then they'd teleport to her. But then it's like, oh, crap, we don't have time. They're here right now. So she teleports to Crow. And then they end up being in Haven when the attack happens.
Possibly. I could see it being a thing where Raven's words of family always coming around when they need something, and she has to eat those words because she goes to Crow and she's like, I need your help.
That'd be pretty cool.
It would be interesting to see Raven have some kind of a development into becoming more, I would say, in league with Crow.
Yeah, because they've even though she hasn't had a whole lot of screen time, they have solidly established her character.
They have.
So now it's the point where they can start getting those nuances and intricacies and, having her show a bit more depth.
Yeah, exactly. And her character in particular had a bit of a thing this episode where she was hesitating from the standpoint of, oh yeah, I've seen all this before, I know how this is going, and she seemed kind of disappointed with Weiss and Yang. Just the idea that, oh look, they think they're the quintessential huntresses and stuff like that.
Right.
It felt kind of like a chiding NPC from a GM in a tabletop RPG being like, you think you know the truth. You don't know anything.
And the way it was conveyed, I would say, wasn't really the best way, because when you do something like that, you want to make sure that it doesn't just sound apathetic, because then it can feel like droning. And I feel like Raven, if anything, lacked energy on some of the parts of this episode. A lot of the things that she was saying was like really heavy, like the stuff about Ozpin and all that. But specifically in that part, it just, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that there were some parts that lacked energy, but I don't think Raven lacked energy. I think the idea is that there were like moments where you're like, oh, that energy doesn't seem to match what she's saying. Okay, but then there are other parts where I'm like, oh, that's some good stuff right there.
Yes, the reveal was handled very well.
Yeah,
the part, also, what he did to us.
Right. Also, when she said, "I know Ozpin's secret," and Ozpin's secret is Salem, I was like, wait, like, that's the secret?
It's not that he's immortal,
right? It's the idea that Ozpin has been controlling the world of Remnant in an effort to stop Salem,
right,
by like any means necessary. Right. I thought this was going to be a thing about like how Ozpin was manipulating all these people, and it was, right. But instead she chose to have the big bombshell be about Salem,
exactly, which isn't what you want to do if you're wanting to control people, because by focusing on Salem, that's basically validating what Ozpin's doing. Right. Because she's saying, like, he was manipulating all this stuff because apparently there's some super evil person that's controlling all the Grimm and wants to destroy the world, everything. And it's like, well, if you put it in those sort of absolute terms, then it's like,
well, then Ozpin makes a lot of sense.
Makes a lot of sense, right? But if she had said, like, no, he orchestrated this entire thing.
Yeah.
The stuff leading up to that was awesome. Yeah. It's like all the schools serve him. They're loyal to him and only him.
Right.
And if she had followed that up with, and he's been living for hundreds of years. He actually rules the land right now.
Right. It's not that he really rules the land. It's that all of the, like, most of the violent wars and death or something like that have been, like, some part of his manipulation. She might not know that because she's basing things more on present hand information, and because Ozpin might not have actually told her anything about his semblance, but the fact that she said, I know people that can come back from the dead and I can prove it.
Right, exactly.
Means that I think she knows that Ozpin isn't who he says he is, in that he's not Ozpin.
Right.
He's someone that has become basically the entity we know as Ozpin.
Exactly, because she said, like, oh yeah, he orchestrated it that way because he started the schools, and all that stuff, and he's old and everything.
Right. It's the idea that she did kind of tell them, but that wasn't the big bombshell reveal. She built up to Salem, whereas she could have built up to the idea that Ozpin has lied to you about basically his life, like he's not who he says he is. I think that is way more damaging to them than telling them about this horrifying existential threat to the world.
Yeah, because that's the kind of thing that you tell to even someone like Cersei in order to hopefully band people together, right? That's not what you say to turn people against each other.
Yeah, if anything, it does sow fear. It does sow fear.
Right,
but I think that Yang and Weiss are the type of characters where
they'll rise to the occasion.
Yeah, they'll rise to the occasion when fear gets brought up to them. They will get maybe a little bit worried by it, but it'll be worried for the people that they care about rather than their own personal survival or something like that.
Maybe what Raven was trying to do is basically by bringing up Salem, she's trying to say that, like, hey, I know what the real problem is. You shouldn't be listening to them because they won't tell you about the real threat. However, I can be honest with you. So you should listen to me because I know what's up.
Sure, I think that Raven's controlled release of the truth, basically saying, hey, here's a little bit of the truth, and I could tell you more.
But wait, there's more.
There's more! Yeah. We'll double your offer. Just don't take this teleporting gate right now.
Exactly.
And I think that ultimatum shows how little Raven actually does know Yang. One of the things I actually think that I'm seeing here is Raven is projecting, like, a lot. It's the idea that she projects onto Yang herself, therefore she thinks she can predict how Yang will act.
Because she's her mother's daughter, except... She's not.
She's her daughter's mother. But yeah. Yeah.
Wait. No.
Yeah.
We were saying
the same thing, basically.
But
two different ways. But Raven being, in that respect, is extremely arrogant. And it basically...
Stop the press.
It basically ends up being a thing where she ends up completely helping Yang along. In a way that I think is a little bit inconsistent, but maybe it's not that it's inconsistent, it just shows how short-sighted Raven is.
Or maybe she just didn't want to have to deal with, like, Yang and Weiss, like, if they're like, okay, well, no, you're going to open the portal or we're going to start wrecking the place, or or if they...
Sure, I think that Raven is kind of this attitude where she didn't want to help them, but if she has to just find a way to get rid of them or get something out of it, hey, win-win.
Yeah.
I get them out of my hair, or I get some potential new allies. She's like, there's a 20% chance they're actually going to take me up on my offer. But I should at least give them the choice, because then they think, oh, I might be a good mother. I'm giving them a choice or something.
Well, and it could potentially be setting it up for if they see her again, even though she did kind of burn that bridge.
Yeah. That one also felt a little bit
well,
odd.
especially since it's like, okay, so I'm joining with Crow, so I'm basically saying that I like his way of doing things, so...
Right.
But that's not actually saying they're on different sides, unless it's that she just specifically hates Ozpin for having her be able to turn into a bird.
Who knows?
Like, no wonder Raven's tribe is so small.
Yeah, the idea that Raven was the reason that Team Stark broke up, I can absolutely see it. I think that... Yeah. What's that song, Toxic? I feel like that song is for Raven, basically.
Sounds about right.
Don't you know that you're toxic? Like, Raven is absolutely... she isn't like Adam in that she's destructive. It's that she
just listens to like
corrosive.
breakup songs about Ozpin.
No. She's corrosive. It's the idea that she's holding on to
A grudge?
She's holding on to her viewpoint of the world so strongly, and she's made herself believe that she's actually open-minded because of her worldview being based more on her experience than the words of what other people have said.
Sure. Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily say open-minded. It's like,
No, I'm saying she's not. I'm saying she believes that.
Sure.
She believes that she's open-minded.
But I know the truth,
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying she is. Listen to what I'm saying. That she thinks she is because she's not, beholden to the words of other people. She's actually getting her own experience. She's like, I'm my own person. I'm out there.
All you other guys are just deceiving yourself.
Yeah, essentially. But yeah, I don't really know what the next episode will be because this one will be this way. I think it has to be Menagerie.
Yeah,
but
they need to do something with the villains.
They need to do something with the villains. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe they'll try and do both in in
one episode.
In one really action-packed thing, or I don't know.
Yeah, I think here's some ways this could go. Cinder and company show up, and they've got the location, and the tribe's about to leave.
Yeah,
the tribe's about to leave. And, they've been traveling all this time, and the reason why we haven't seen them is because they've been on the move, right?
Yeah.
They show up, and things go down. Right as things are about to go down, we cut to Menagerie, where you have another group of people that are about to assault, the chief's house and stuff like that.
There.
And Blake basically gets greeted by, Ilya.
Yep.
And Sun's there, and he's like, whoa. And she's like, hold on. I need to talk with her. Do you mind giving us a few minutes? And he's like, I don't trust her. And he's like, it's okay, son. They spend a few minutes, and that time is enough for them to be separated from the thing. But Sun ends up going back to the chief's place,
right? And
hopefully
ends up helping out,
probably trying to protect them and stuff.
I just realized something. This volume's 14 episodes, so they could have the mid-season finale be a two-parter.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Also, they could have these. I know they could have these two parts we're talking about be completely individual episodes.
That's true.
But I feel like RWBY's fight scenes go a lot better when there's a lot of short ones that change the dynamic.
Yeah, Volume 3 nailed that.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were kind of practicing for it, I think, with those tournament fights of having them be like 90 second fights.
Right.
But in the team dynamic, having them be a thing where they keep swapping perspective every 10 seconds or so.
Yeah, that's a good point, because they did do that a lot. Have the 4-on-4 tournaments sort of break apart into little
mini skirmishes.
Mini duels. Yeah.
So we could see a lot of that.
That would be awesome to see.
And also, the last really big fighting we saw was just Yang beating down on the noob tribe people.
Yeah, we haven't really had a fight so far this volume.
Well, that was a fight, but it was more of a beatdown than a true fight.
Right, and then the Sienna Khan was just a...
That was an execution. But there was the chase with Weiss and the Lancer.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
That was probably the most grand fight that we've seen thus far.
Yes, so they'll be able to upstage that very nicely.
And they'll upstage that very nicely with not only a display of powerful semblances, but maiden powers being used against each other, with a hit squad from the White Fang against Gira and Kali.
Yeah.
Like, I in particular think Gira's going to be unstoppable, but I think Kali is going to be freaking... Well, yes, I think he's going to lose, of course, but I feel like Kali is going to be terrifying.
Yeah.
She'll shift into combat Kali, like death goddess Kali.
Suddenly, Nice Mom is gone.
Like Yandere Mom. All of a sudden, you touched Gira, I'll kill you, and then she like fangs and claws and everything.
And Sun will be all like, "I'm gonna be awesome," and then he sees them and he's like, "Whoa, okay, well, I'll just stay out of their way."
Right. I could see it actually being a thing where they are actually winning in terms of combat ability, but they use poison darts or something like that.
Sure. Or Adam and Hazel step in.
I don't think they're gonna be there. I don't think Adam's gonna be there in time.
That's okay. I could see that, because he definitely seemed to be giving an order of you guys go do this.
You guys do this, yeah.
But if that's the case, then...
But that's why Sun could help and not get hurt. It's the idea that Sun and Blake will get away from this, and that will be what brings them to Haven.
But then it's the question of how will Gira and Kali actually lose?
They could just lose by overwhelming numbers. And the idea
has that ever happened in RWBY so far?
No, but it would be a cool thing to switch things from. It's the idea that Sun just completely destroyed the White Fang in Volume 1 with Blake.
Yep.
But if you have like 50 people instead of about 12 to 15,
right? But then it's still like
the numbers do make a big difference.
Well, and to be fair, RWBY isn't super internally consistent with all of those sorts of things. They tend to change it up based on what they need to happen in the story at any given point in time, because rule of cool,
right, exactly.
So just because we saw like Weiss and Blake taking out like dozens of people,
nameless, faceless
White Fang people in matters of a couple seconds.
Yeah, but we could see people like that flying faunus guy. He could go and completely, take out one of them at the very
least. They could also. Here's another thing they could potentially do.
Mm-hmm.
What if they just had it be an assassination? That's not RWBY's style. That's not RWBY's style. But like, if they had Gira get like poisoned in his sleep,
I feel like what they could do is they could have one of them die, and it probably would be Gira, because it would even out the fact that Sienna Khan died.
Exactly.
And But Gira's death, I feel like they might not want to kill him here. They might want to leave that to Adam for political reasons. It's the idea that the Albane brothers would be like, well, we captured Gira, but of course we knew you wanted the pleasure of killing yourself.
And then Adam does his traditional like sword swipe thing.
Right. If Adam does kill Gira, it would then be on his head be the vengeance.
Nice.
So the Albane brothers are like, yeah, you can do it, but like when this ship goes down, we're gonna let you
take the fall.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Because they seem to be cautiously aware of the danger that is being too too reckless around Adam. Just being very careful.
Yeah.
So I could see them both being captured and then offering them up as a gift to you, high leader Adam. Please accept this sacrifice.
I hope Kali gets away though, because I
do too.
I want to see. Again,
Sun and Kali get away. Yeah. Sun's like, I'll save you, and he picks her up. I would just cringe with delight. That would be so funny.
No, here's what I'd love to see.
Kali saves Sun.
Kali saves Sun.
Yes,
because Sun has already been built up to be this huge badass, right? So I'd love to see him like being a badass and just being awesome,
right?
And then of course Kali's even more awesome. And when now that's one of the things though where it's like maybe Gira would have to die there because. Otherwise,
I don't think she would leave him.
Because, I don't think she would leave him.
I think she might if he told her to. It would be kind of a, like...
Save our daughter.
Save.
That's the way they could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's how they'd have to do it.
Okay.
Because otherwise I just wouldn't see it happening. But I want Kali to not just survive, but to not be captured so that we can see more awesome mom.
Yes.
Yeah.
But with Ranger and Weiss and Yang all being back together and stuff, they can actually like gather and do the like character development, like interactions and stuff. That's not just the tear-jerking, amazing reunion stuff, but also the like, where do we go from here? Let's think about this. Let's talk about this. Here's what we know. Let's exchange information.
Oh, so Raven was telling the truth. Oh.
It's like, well, yeah, of course we knew that. Ranger's like, we got all the info dumps last volume, so
they just dropped like a set of like papers, like here's what you need to read up on, here's what you missed, gods and and all this stuff.
Right.
Make sure you do that before the next battle, because
I think that might be a kind of thing where once we come back to them, they'll have already talked about that.
They'll be like, what? Yeah.
I feel like RWBY as a show has done a bunch of that.
Yeah,
but I think more of that is a good thing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you don't want to. Exposition should be avoided in general, and you don't want to do it twice for the same information.
Right, even if it's just spreading it around to different characters.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was a lot of fun.
It was. Sweet episode.
We will be signing off now for discussion wise, and until then. for Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.